If you're listening right now to the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we know something about you. We know that you're obsessed with Little House on the Prairie.
For more than half a century, Little House on the Prairie, the series and the books have been bright lights for people all over the world who seek out goodness, decency, and human connection.
Here on the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we celebrate everything that made Little House so special.
The stories, the characters, the actors, and the messages that have made Little House iconic family television.
And a perfect counterpoint to a world that feels like it's going off the rails every day.
Where is Michael Landon when we need him most? I'm your host, Pamela Bob.
And I'm your prairie bitch, Allison Arngrim.
And I'm Dean Butler.
Our hashtag imaginary boyfriend. Join us for our loving, quirky, and often irreverent conversations about the finest family drama in the history of television.
And the imperfect people who made it that way.
Presented by our devoted patrons, and visit SealyValley.com.
Hello again, bonnet heads. How y'all doing? I'm Pamela Bob, creator and star of Living on a Prairie. And you know what? A fan wrote in and said, Pamela, maybe it would help you if you also said you're a super fan so people might know who I am. So I'm a super fan, too. And your host. I am here with our wonderful, beloved prairie bitch. That's right, Allison Arngrim. Hello, Allison. I'm also here with our hashtag imaginary boyfriend, Dean Butler. How are you guys?
Good.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm good. You guys just came back from a big old trip in Indianapolis, or not Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, we were in Indiana, in Greenfield, in a little community. It's like 20 miles outside of central Indianapolis.
I did regale her the other day with what a hit it was, but you had people falling all over you.
Yeah, and if you check out our Patreon, you'll hear a lot more about it because Allison went more into detail about how awesome it was. But
nice.
Who knew that part of the country was going to be so prairie crazy?
You know, not unpredictable at all. I mean, in the sense that once you're there and you sort of get the vibe of the whole area. It does feel so Americana. And that whole part of the country, living in Los Angeles, these are cities that your whole life, but having not spent a huge amount of time traveling through the Midwest, you don't get I don't have a really accurate sense of the distances between these cities. And these cities are not that far apart. So you can have people coming from, not uncommon to have people coming from 2-3 hours away, and it's not a big deal for them to do that. Now we go to places where people drive 15 hours to see us, which is amazing. But in a situation like this, where I was in Cincinnati last month, just hours away from lots of different, really substantial communities, substantial American cities. So this Indianapolis is another one of those places that's a great place for us to be.
Dean, did you go into because the place in Cincinnati obviously was a little bit outside of Cincinnati. I mean, greater Cincinnati. Did you ever go into Cincinnati, like downtown Cincinnati at all?
Did not. So many times you go through the airport and then you're out wherever you're going.
And the airport's in Kentucky. So
yes, exactly. And that is a spectacular airport, as is the airport in Indianapolis, two really terrific Midwestern airports. And that's funny, you can disregard, or you don't think about that until you go into airports that maybe aren't great. Well, those are two really terrific airports.
Yeah, like JFK currently is, I swear JFK is like one of the 7 cycles of hell at the moment. It's just like the worst place. It's the worst place on earth. Not only because it's all under construction and crazy, but everyone who works there is in misery. They are living their not best lives, the people that work there, and they're very unhappy and they're very mean.
Yeah, the early flights. I'm always taking these insanely early flights. When you get there early, first of all, like traffic is not a thing. Also, if there's
Yep.
going to be weather on the East Coast, which is going to throw all the flights off schedule, that hasn't happened yet. And you have a chance that most of the people working the airport will still be in a good mood because there hasn't been time
true.
to yell at them and be terrible and have their flights canceled and everything go to hell in a handcart.
I
But
know.
you get there early, they're still like, oh, good morning, because nothing horrible has happened to them yet.
And I know it's so particular to JFK because LaGuardia is not as bad. Newark is not
Well,
bad,
LaGuardia
really.
has improved enormously.
Oh,
over
it's
the
crazy. And
recent
JFK
years,
is all under construction, and who knows in a few years when
Yeah.
that's done, maybe everything will feel nicer then too. I mean, certainly physically it will. Hopefully emotionally it will too, because it's a horrible, horrible emotional place.
Wow, I'm
But
so sorry to hear
Cincinnati
that.
was my old stomping ground, because I went to college there, and that's
It's
where
great.
Hal's family moved to when they moved to America
wow.
from UK, and I have a couple cousins still there. So
Nice.
Cincy.
Cincy.
Anyway, what are we doing today? What's happening?
Well, let's first say that we were so grateful to be in Indianapolis with Karen. That was such a treat. I mean, Allison and I
Oh,
are
right.
joined at the hip.
Karen
We
was
go
there.
everywhere, but Karen Grassley was there with us, and really, really fun to be there
Good.
with Karen. I mean, she is a flavor of I don't know, of humanity that's she's really fun to be with, and it's very particular. And and she's very particular about how she does things and how things go, and she's not afraid to say so, not afraid to say what she needs and what she wants. And it's just I always find it delightful to be with Karen.
And she is a
because
go-getter. I mean, when we were setting
Yeah,
up and the
she
guy
really
said,
is.
now will she need, breaks? I said, yes, and snacks. But I said, for heaven's sakes, she's 82. I said to Calvin there, was working with us, says, I don't know that I'm going to be coming to these things at 82. I'll be like Catherine McGregor. I ain't coming. I said, she took breaks. I should think so. And then
Yeah.
came back like a ball of fire and signed and talked
Yeah.
to every single person who was in her line. People were crying because she was like their mother, and it was epic.
It's true.
Epic.
Yeah, really
Well,
good.
and see me when I was interviewing her, and I said, when did you know that you were as, beloved and revered as you are? And she went, probably not until I was 80. And I was like, until you were 80? My
Well,
God!
it's so life is a continuing. You keep learning your whole life. It's amazing
Yes.
that she took that long for her to know.
I
Well,
know. So
I
I'm
think we
glad
should-
she's basking in it,
Me
She
too.
just, it's well deserved.
Me too. We're going to be talking about Karen in a very special episode
Oh,
for her.
yes,
But why don't you take us into the title and we'll get into this.
Yes. Yes, everybody, get ready for the episode of all episodes from the studios of UBN Go in Burbank, California. This is the Little House 50th Anniversary Podcast. Get ready for Ma. Boo, boo, boo.
This is a total Karen. This is a Karen episode. This is all about Ma. All about
Yeah,
Ma.
it sure is. So much so that Pa's barely in it. Okay, Dean, hit it. What are we talking about today?
All right, today's episode, season 4, episode 4, The Handyman. Premiered
as
October 3rd,
Tony,
1977.
our producer, says the handyman can.
Yes,
I had
yes,
to say.
and could he ever? I mean, written by Arthur Heineman and directed by our lovely and terrific Bill Claxton. The guest star, of course, famously in this one was Gil Gerard, and Gil really hadn't arrived yet. But it was all of his, everything that made him really special was on full display. He would go on to be TV's Buck Rogers, but just a lovely guy. Allison, what's The Handyman about?
Well, let's see here. Are the official synopsises, although there's so many things going on and so much subtext and weird stuff in the background. But going on is, Pa Pa's Kitchen Edition. With Pa's Kitchen Edition to Little House postponed by an urgent lumber hauling job because they need the money. So, Carolyn is tasked keeping the family fed and safe. Yeah, he puts up a tarp. Do we not remember when they first moved to the house and they had a blanket as a door and there were bears and Native Americans? This was a bad idea, but okay. Enter a whistling Chris Nelson. The handyman, played by a young and chisel-jawed Gil Gerard, with 70s swagger and tool-belt bravado. Yes, very much so. Caroline hires him for his carpentry skills. But
does she now?
The way he swings that hammer has Harriet Olsen practically combusting with scandal.
Who wrote this synopsis?
Harriet's jealous. Seriously, this happens.
It was a team effort.
Hammer swings.
This synopsis is
Carolyn long, meanwhile glances and enjoys her fresh baked pies. Seriously.
And that's a metaphor, if I've ever heard one.
Okay. A euphemism. Meanwhile, her internal monologue is practically a Victorian romance novel. Must remain emotionally faithful to Charles. But have you seen that man fix a roof in the sunlight? Will Mary be able to save the family from smoldering infidelity? In the end, the kitchen is completed. Chris Nelson rides off to the sunset, and the Ingalls marriage survives its first and, well, only near thirst trap. Mary is smart. Okay. Ma is very nice. Mary is the smart one, and Mrs. Olsen and I are so vile that we should just be shot. And there you are.
You guys are particularly
really bad.
You guys are bad.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we even... Well, here's where we start. First of all, amazing synopsis. I don't know if AI did that, but if it did, I'm here for it.
It was a combination.
He wrote it and I threw in commentary. As I am
Thank you, robots, for that synopsis.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Because it was brilliant. Okay, we start off, hey-ho, we're getting a well. We're getting running water in the house. We're finally getting an addition to the little house on the prairie. Pa's building a new kitchen with a well and indoor running water. How life-changing is this going to be? Life-changing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, no indoor plumbing for a toilet yet, but yes, they will settle as for the start with the running water in the kitchen. No question.
Yes. Then I forgot, we're in Kezia era because we go to the post office.
Yes,
and
she's steaming letters.
How do we feel about Kezia? As a child, I loved her. I thought she was adorable. I enjoyed the storylines. As an adult watching it, I'm of this. Why? What's happening? What did you guys think of the Kezia storyline?
First of all, anything with Hermione Badley, I am like, shut up, the goddess.
I know, she's amazing.
Dame Hermione Badley. This woman is a brilliant, brilliant actress. Huge career, later on Maude, everything. Just like, she could do no wrong. But
she was in Mary
walk
Poppins.
Around with a spear and a crow on her shoulder for episodes, and I don't know why. And everything she does.
And she did.
But it's a theme because, we're going to be talking about another episode, the one where Mrs. Olsen is listening to phone calls. This one has Kezia opening the mail. There's like a theme with this whole Badinsky, but of course,
a busybody.
In Kezia's case, it is in fact actually a federal offense. She's just committed a federal offense.
Right.
Yes.
There's the sheriff when you need him. In this case, I look at this from a writing standpoint, this mail steaming thing and Doc Baker's two scenes that he has are really the means to get the plot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's just I hadn't seen Kezia in forever, and I was like, oh my gosh, there she is. Wow, what a weird character to have on the prairie. Anyway, the letter is just that's at the post office to say that Hans has gotten the bid from the railroad to make
to build a hotel.
So Charles, who is now busy making this kitchen extension to the house, has to now leave town to take this job because money.
The thing that's always interesting about the mill in Walnut Grove, anybody who knows that part of the country knows, there's not a tree for 300 miles in Walnut Grove. I mean, there is now, but there are no forests that would support a mill in Walnut Grove.
Nope.
Put that aside. There's these lumber jobs. It's a wonderful device. It gives everybody things to do, but it's like, where are the trees? Where are the trees?
Okay, and the
trees are behind.
Well, the trees
mountains.
are in Sonora when we go to Sonora.
Right.
That's where the trees are.
Right. True. Also, the stream that runs that whole mill. It's not that big a stream. It really is a creek, and we've been out there to Plum Creek.
Right.
It's not much now. Maybe it was
not enough to turn a
fuller.
mill. Yeah.
Yeah, in the 1870s, but then again, or that was Laura's fantasies about how rushing the water was. Don't really know. Maybe in the winter.
It was turned on with a spigot.
Right, exactly.
Yes, it was turned on with a spigot.
Okay, so now we're back at the house.
Yes.
And the wall is open. Oh, here's the thing. We're back at the house. The girls come into the house. They're like, "Whoa, what happened to the wall? It's open." And she's like, "We're making an extension, yay!" And then she's like, "Go out and get water from the creek or something." She's asked them to go out, and so they go through the open wall. And then Ma's like, "Through the
Go
door,
out the front
please."
door.
And I'm like, "Why?
Why?
We are not
Yeah.
Why?
You will use the front door. We are civilized. I don't care if there's a hole in the
We're
wall.
civilized
Use the door.
people. Use the front door. Yeah.
It's so bizarre. They're like halfway out towards the creek. She's like, "Go through the door." Okay, Ma, fine. Rules. Rules are rules.
Yeah.
And then chaos ensues. A cow comes in the kitchen. You know,
Well, first Carrie
everything's
falls
falling
into
apart.
Carrie falls into the pond. Carrie has more to say in the early part of this episode
Yes.
than we normally see. You
Yes.
know,
Some of
it's sort
Carrie's
of,
finest
sort of
work
fun.
in this episode. I mean, there's early on. There's kind of one of those moments, but it's really good. Carrie is all up in this episode. This is Carrie's
you.
great in this one. I love Carrie in this one.
I'm
wait a
telling
minute,
you, those girls need to write a
Rachel
book
or
and
Robin? Are we seeing Rachel or Robin? At
We'll
that
have to
age, I
call
just
and
don't know.
ask. We'll have to call them.
I don't know, but
okay.
I always said those girls need to write a memoir called Carrie Speaks.
That's what I said.
Anyway, oh my gosh, that's the title. Okay, so Carrie falls into the
Right.
to the pond. They come back.
Not
a
sure
cow
why
comes in the
that's important,
kitchen.
but that does happen.
It's not. And then a torrential rainstorm out of
The-
nowhere happens.
Right.
That so
they're
looks
all
like a
soaking
hose.
wet.
It looks like the hose that it is. It does. It does.
1,000%.
Fake.
But it's a funny, fun moment between Charles and Ma, who are trying to put this little tarp up on the
And
door.
there's enormous amounts of looping in this episode. I mean, so much of
I
this
bet.
is looped, and which was very common at see. But I'm rarely aware of Michael or Karen looping. They did it really well in this episode. I hear the looping, and it's not that I'm seeing the looping, but there's something in the way that this audio was produced that it was re-recorded in a studio. And that's
You
not
can
always the
hear
case.
it, yeah, because it's like too clear and too loud, and there's obviously
Exactly.
a mill running and
Exactly.
torrential rain, and you wouldn't hear it down. You're hearing people saying, "Hey, Charles, can you get perfect enunciation over the storm?" You go, "Oh, yeah, looping."
Yeah. No, these
there.
are technical challenges that, that had to be overcome, and
Yeah,
the
of
show was
course.
very expedient about dealing with these things. There weren't ADR studios. We weren't looking at picture when we looped. We're literally listening to the sound. and
Wait a
recording.
minute. What?
No, there
You
was no
weren't
ADR
looking?
on our show.
Once I saw a picture.
looping.
It was. I had a wild line with a bunch of the girls screaming, and they said, "We're not even sure what it is you said." And they ran a clip, and I think they ran a clip from the river one, and I did. Other than that, that was it. I saw 2 clips ever in 7 years.
Pamela is
where you're-
horrified.
I actually am, because I don't know how you would do it if you weren't watching it while you were doing the voiceover. That's
so
crazy.
you heard 3 beeps, as you do in ADR. There's the 3
Right.
beeps, but
Yes.
that's all we had as a reference were the 3 beeps. Everything else was playing in your memory of what you had done. You were not seeing it, and you weren't
cuckoo.
seeing the perspective. You weren't seeing any of that.
So,
So I mean, you sort of
okay.
knew where you were. You sort of knew where the camera was, and if you were lost, the dialogue editor was there in the room and could tell you were doing such and such.
But how do you- how
we
did you
were
know
doing
if you were
70
syncing
loops
up?
in 20 minutes.
Jesus.
because you
Wait,
had
but
a
how
thing
did you
in
know
your-
if you were syncing up to your mouth?
Well,
it was its own skill, its own thing.
You're
You
listening.
held this big thing in your ear, and you were in a darkened room. You could close your eyes and just go back to where you were. Held this thing, and what I would hear in my ear was beep, 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 mother.
Beep, talk.
And then I'd hear
Yeah.
like the crow
Right.
cawing or the airplane going by that was killing it and making
Right.
it so bad. So you'd literally, they'd play
Right.
you that. And I'd hear beep, beep, beep,
So you'd mimic the
mother.
sound.
And I'd go,
Yeah, you're
That's
just
the
you are
man.
talking to your own
Nailed it.
voice, and you're trying to sync with your own sound.
Got
And
it.
tried to, heaven
That's
forbid,
cuckoo.
impart some of the
Yeah.
emotion that was there so it doesn't sound horrible, but it's really.
Well, no wonder why you kept saying, Dean, how unsure you were of doing the looping, especially at first, because you didn't have a reference point to watch what you were actually. That is crazy to me. That is
Well,
wild.
but I think
and
it's
also
just-
now it makes sense why some of the looping is so obvious in certain episodes. Now it makes sense to me.
I
Old
think,
school.
yeah, and I think particularly in things like where there's a heavy rainstorm, where the dialogue, where what was actually recorded is so garbled anyway, and that's your only reference. If you'd
Right.
had a picture to refer to,
Exactly.
maybe you could have, people could have sunk up a little better to it. But yeah, it was just the function of working in an exterior environment that was very loud all the time, and they realized that the time it would take, the hours it would take, days to loop episodes or to ADR episodes, they just weren't going to do that.
You mean to do it while watching
To
the
do it properly
while watching it, right?
while you're watching
And
pictures.
this was
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
the-
well, we're
the
much respect
normal
for all
style.
of you because it's mostly amazing.
This was the style
It
in the
is.
70s. Because when I talked to other people,
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
if they
everyone
were
was- I'm
moving
sure everyone
in
was doing it that way.
1975, and they went, "Yep, yeah, beep, 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 babe." It was years before they started doing it the other way. That was the standard. You just get in there, put that thing in your
Wow.
ear, and do it.
Okay, well, once again, I thought I knew pretty much everything there was to know, and then boom,
Yeah, yeah,
new
that little
information.
surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
total surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, back
So
to the
it-
episode.
So anyway, so we've spent an inordinate amount of time talking about
Backstory.
about looping, but let's get to the introduction of
Yes.
of Chris Nelson,
Yes.
who just sort of
Whistling.
appears.
Whistling
well,
stranger,
he's-
handsome,
he's
strapping
hammering at
brute of a
first.
man.
He's not whistling at first.
No,
he's hammering.
He
Is
just
he,
shows
is he
up
whistling?
facing
I don't think
first.
so.
He
The first
walks
thing we
in
hear is
whistling,
hammering.
and that's the thing. No, he shows up, and she's like, "Who are you, and why are you at my house?" He knocks the door, whistling, which is like when Johnny Cash shows up singing. It's like, you know the guy's trouble. You know the guy's
That's right.
trouble. If he comes in singing or whistling, he's the bad guy. And she's like, "Why are you here?" "Well, I heard you. How did you hear that my kitchen was?" Mrs. Olson, of course. But yeah, and then it's like, well, okay, we need the help.
Right. And he's a handyman of all sorts. And
gorgeous.
he's here offering to help to build the kitchen while is not there anymore. She's like, "Cool, I can't pay you." And he's like, "I'll just take what you can feed me." And she's like, "Cool. And you can also sleep here, by the way."
In the Saudi, not
Mr.
you know,
Handsome
not-
Stranger.
Yeah, not in that. But you see, I think that you see the chemistry, the flirtation is immediate. I mean, there's no missing it. It's like
No, it's undeniable.
It was right there in frame one. That first interaction, particularly, you see it from Karen as well. But he's definitely like zeroed in right away.
I think this traveling man thing, I did question as it goes on. You go, was he sleeping with a lot of the women where he was staying? Was this traveling man thing? I get room and board. Sometimes I get paid. Sometimes I don't. But there's
Yep.
beautiful farm women all over the country, and they are bored, and I am here, and it's a life. But they all love him. Carrie has a crush on him. We've seen the stuff where
Well,
Laura
that
and
was
Mary
really
settle
sweet.
in.
Yeah, that
Carrie
was a
is like, he's adorable. So it's like, okay, all the women at Walden Grove, now Carrie's starting. Anybody walks in, oh, look, a guy. It's they just fall for anybody. Even Carrie now is falling for strange guys. It's like,
So, and then she invites him for dinner. He has dinner. Wait a minute. And
Sitting
then
right there at the head of the table.
and then he
Yeah.
busts out Pa's fiddle.
And plays it better than
Clutch
Pa
the
does.
pearl. Sure does. I mean, he sort of mimes it almost as badly
yeah,
as Pa
he
does.
totally
but
can't
yes,
play as well, just like Michael.
Totally
He
can't play.
Really play. He can't really. You're like,
Yes, I
well,
said in my
I was
notes. I
watching
say
going,
he
well,
plays
it's a
Pa's
little
fiddle.
better, but it's still not quite.
In my notes, I wrote he plays Pa's fiddle, and to our delight, he's just as awful as Michael Landon is.
But whoever in the recording session that played it, really, so oftentimes when Michael plays the violin, he plays it as a violin. He's not playing
Right.
it as a fiddle with that dual string
Right.
thing that is so
Yeah, yeah,
really,
the
it's all,
handyman.
that's what the fiddle's all about. Well, they recorded Chris Nelson
Yeah.
playing the fiddle like a fiddle.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Now that right away,
and-
I'm like I said, I'm can't marry on a lot of this stuff. What the heck's he doing with her husband's fiddle? Okay, he's the handyman. You like him. It turns out, he's a great guy. He's doing the work. We're chatting. We're very friendly. We're being very social. We're feeding him. Why is he let me just grab your husband's personal fiddle and start playing? Have you ever lived with a musician?
And it gets worse.
Do you know how they feel about their instruments?
Their
Do you think if I had
instruments.
someone over the house and said, yeah, why don't you just grab one of Bob's guitars and start playing? Nah. You do not touch somebody else's guitar or fiddle or drum set without their direct permission. You don't just grab their stuff. And if their wife goes, yeah, it's fine. No, that does not happen. You do not do that. That is like, my uncle played the violin, and there were like very expensive violins at their house. And I knew as a child, touching none of that stuff.
Well, obviously, this is all in service of creating this
The story.
huge concern for Mary. The thing that really hit me is right off the bat when Laura says good night. Good night, Uncle Chris. How
Okay,
did
we have to
get
talk about
Uncle
this.
Chris.
They've known him for 3 hours.
And he's Uncle Chris.
The stranger that they know nothing about
In the
is
house.
all
Yeah.
of a sudden.
And
Uncle
Mary likes
It's
him.
creepy and weird.
Mary thinks he's cute. Mary is totally making goo-goo eyes at him, just like Laura and Carrie. Totally thinks he's adorable, and it's like, ha 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 ha, until Mrs. Olson and Nellie make it weird. If nobody said anything, Mary would have been like, he's great, he's so handsome. But when
Yep.
we made it weird by commenting on it, then she was like, oh,
Yes.
no.
Now,
Get out.
yes, the alarm bells go off.
Right.
Yes.
Well, but before that happens, and let me read a lovely quote from Karen's book, Bright Lights, Prairie Dust, about Gil Gerard. She wrote, let me do it in a Karen Grassley voice. I don't know
let's
if I
see
can.
how you do this.
He had that charisma many women find irresistible. When he showed up on set, even the little girls sat up and took notice. He was sweet and hardworking and endeared himself to all of us women, young and old. Bow, chicka, bow, 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 Gil Gerard.
I
Yeah.
think that was a great
Okay.
Karen impersonation. Was that a good Karen impersonation?
Oh, thank you.
Good.
I think that's that was a nice take on Karen.
I've never done
actually.
it before. Just
Well,
soft
and
and,
just like
just temper it back a little bit.
Pretty good.
Anyway, let's get to the main point here, which
Yes.
is it's the nighttime. Knock, knockety knock on the door. It's just like pizza delivery, and
hair down. Got her
Carolyn
hair down.
comes out with the hair down. We know what it means when Ma has her hair down, people. Looking stunning in the moonlight. She opens the door.
In her
and
nightgown.
Chris-
In her nightgown.
in her nightgown and the hair down. He's a goner, right? I mean, we all are. Look at her. I mean, look at her in this scene. She is to die for.
Yeah, no, she looks spectacular. in that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, she looks absolutely gorgeous, and I've seen this scene. I've seen multiple times, and it's like, boy, I mean, if you're a man and you are commenting and you don't know someone very well, but you are
Yes.
commenting on the hair
Yes.
being down, you're making a play here. I mean, there's
1000%.
no ambiguity about
All
this.
about
He's
the hair.
making a play.
1000%. But the thing that's also really interesting about this scene is that it's interesting to see Ma feeling beautiful.
Yes,
and,
right, exactly. You
and
see that.
sort of like taking it in and liking how it feels. And not saying she's about to run off with the guy, but we never see Ma like that. I don't think we've ever seen her before, and we will never see it ever again, of sort of basking in this. A man is paying attention to me, and he thinks I'm beautiful, and I'm enjoying it.
Well, and how many?
And I remember when I
3 kids and the work and the.
That's right.
Right, right.
yeah, and you're on the prairie, right?
I
totally.
think that if we could drill down on this and look at this on a whole number of levels, but Michael played the relationship with Karen pretty chastely.
Yes.
Other than the fact that he takes his shirt off and we see that, but when Michael kisses her, it's like a peck on the cheek always. It's never really like there's no real full. There are a few maybe in the whole life of the series, but not a lot. And I think being spoken to that way, and Karen being a very much an actress who is responding to what's coming at her, she was enjoying it. She enjoyed that flirtation.
And I remember I interviewed.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I was
go
saying I
ahead.
interviewed Karen, and the interviews on the Living on a Prairie website. But if you watch it, we talked about this, and she talked about how she loved this episode because she rarely got to be pretty on the show.
Right.
Like, she
To
never,
be the
there was
woman.
zero sexuality about Carolyn, and
Right.
this was the one episode that she was able to sort of be a bit more sexual and be a bit more beautiful, and
Yes.
and never
She was
before, never
always
again,
beautiful,
really.
but the sensuality part, yes, that's
Absolutely.
where this episode has as much of that
the
as she's going to have
chemistry.
through the life of the series.
The chemistry between those two was
really
insane.
good.
I mean, it was so
Really good.
palpable. You could
Really
it
good.
just jumped off the screen. I said in my notes, I said, "Ma with her hair down, bow chicka bow pow." He is 100%.
Is that what you wrote? Bow chicka bow bow?
Yes. And I wrote, he is 100% hitting on her. And then I went, Mary goes into beast mode and Nellie goes into bitch mode. And of course, Laura has no idea what any of this
exactly.
means.
I was going to comment on that
So
too.
innocent.
Yeah.
So innocent. And can I
It's-
just say,
it's
I mean,
all-
like, the big questions, like, was she inappropriate? Because Mary's saying, no, you weren't bad. And she was saying, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry. The people who did my bathroom, I had my bathroom redone. Guy who did that, really nice guy. Love the work he did in my bathroom. I'm not having him come over the house in the middle of the night while I'm in my nightgown and open the door. That's not a thing. I am not chatting with this guy in my boudoir. And I think he's a great guy. And no, absolutely nothing like that is ever happening. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's not what you do with the guy.
But does he look like Gil Gerard is the question.
No, he does not. Nice.
All of
Even
this.
so.
All of this is in service of getting us to Mary's
Of course.
protective
Right.
nature.
Monkey
so we'll get
business,
there.
monkey
So
business.
they go to church.
Let's enjoy
here's
the
other thing.
yeah.
They go to church the next day. Chris is planning. Uncle Chris
And
is
he
planning.
drives.
So
He
gross.
drives. He's in the driver's seat of the wagon. He's got.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
They're
like the
"You're
family
not
showing
working on
up.
Sunday.
Yeah.
It is.
He's
bizarre.
got the kid on the
and-
shoulder exactly like.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly like Pa. And this is something that I never thought I'd ever say before in my entire life. Here it is.
here it is.
This is the first and only time where I agree with Mrs. Olsen. Because she's looking at them like, what? Who do you think
This,
you are?
this young man sleeping in your
is
house.
it?
She said,
Yeah, with Carrie on his shoulder and him all of a sudden like this father figure coming to church. It's weird, right? It's weird.
Yeah.
And she's
No, it
like,
is. There's a
something-
lot of weird stuff in this.
Yeah. And she's
he
like,
just worked for
something, this
Mrs.
is not
Olsen.
normal.
Who did think he was cute, and Mrs. Olsen. I mean, she was like, "Well, I don't." I mean, she hires Mrs. Olsen to go to my. Yeah, he's really great, but she did it. I think Caroline hired him to make
not
Mrs.
knocking
Olsen
on her
jealous
door.
because Mrs. Olsen clearly liked him and went, "I'll hire the handyman, fix her."
Everyone
and then a
liked
little
him.
bit
I
was
mean,
make
if you're a
Mrs.
woman in Walnut Grove, you like Chris Nelson.
Yes.
I mean, everyone's going to like Chris Nelson.
Okay, so Mary overhears though Mrs. Olsen saying, "This is something's up with this. Like it's
Yeah.
inappropriate, right?"
Yes.
And then Mary, this is the Mary I love, where her sweetness goes out the window, and
Yeah.
she turns into a completely different person. Like I said, bitch mode. She turns into uber protective mode. And I have to
Yes.
say though, I'm
Yes.
here for it because as a daughter watching this, I would be too.
Absolutely.
She has every right.
Any daughter
she has every
would.
right. Yes.
This is the Mary is
Yes.
right episode. Mary's completely right. She goes off, but she's
Yes. Mary has got it. She is
Mary's
seeing
right.
everything exactly as it is happening. And okay, maybe she misinterprets something she sees later in the episode, but all the evidence is leading to her to feel like something is amiss here, and this guy is not good for our family.
Correct.
And I thought she was wonderful
She's
in
great.
it, and
One of my favorite moments.
really turned that strong wonderfully.
One of my favorite moments.
great.
Cats away, the mice do play.
You are so horrible.
One of my favorite lines. Right up
Yes.
there. And monkey business, monkey business, monkey business.
Monkey business. Oh my
So
god.
terrible. And the fact that I go really hard on it with, oh, Laura's too young. Mary, you're old enough. You know what I'm talking about.
You know
what
what's
I'm
going
talking
on
about.
See
here.
you
I know
next
you've had to talk about
Tuesday.
the birds of the bee. She hasn't, but you have. You know what I'm talking about. Horrible, 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 horrible. And she hits me. And then
It's a mighty slap. I think it's possibly the best slap on the entire series.
on.
It is so good.
And you run away simpering, whimpering as you.
And then Melissa
all of
Sue
that.
Anderson has one of her greatest performances, I think, ever in that moment after she's hit me. And Laura's freaking going, why? Why'd you hit her? What does that even mean? I have no idea. I'm still a child. Birds and
Clueless.
bees, what? I don't know. And Mary freaks out and she's like, don't tell anybody and get that. And I'm like, whoa. And then
Right.
even that's still acting. But when she finally goes, why did you hit her? And she suddenly, this whole shift, she says, because I felt like it and I don't want to talk about it, and turns into a 1970s normal 14-year-old girl, and just boom, suddenly it's real. Suddenly it is actually her, a 14-year-old girl in 1977 going, ugh.
I love
And I
it.
went, oh my God, that was
Yeah, I know.
brilliant.
Great.
It was
Great
brilliant.
moment. Yeah.
She did that scene so well. I know, she's so good. And I love that moment because she did have an attitude change all of a sudden. And I'm here for it. I
was
love
awesome.
when Mary turns
It's
bad.
really awesome.
Well,
think it's so
It's not
awesome.
that it's not.
That's why she's
let's
the
be
ginger
clear.
snap cookie.
There's nothing bad about what Mary's doing. Mary is becoming.
No.
She is taking on responsibility.
Yes.
For something, and she always has that a little bit of with Laura a little bit of a narc quality about her,
Yes.
but this is different. This is a
narc.
whole different thing, and this is
Yes, and
justified.
she's right.
Yeah.
Yes, completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so fast forward. Next day
Yes.
or so, Uncle Chris.
Uncle Chris.
Chris. I'll never not think that's gross. Falls off the roof.
Oh yeah,
And
right.
here's-
Come into the house and take your shirt off.
Oh,
Me-
she
favorite
orders
line.
him. She orders him.
She ordered
Oh
him.
my God,
She
that
goes,
whole scene.
Now you
was
come
dying.
inside and take your shirt off. And I wrote, yes, ma'am.
Literally says, when he argues with her, she says, do as I say, Chris. He says, do as I say, Chris. And he goes, oh, yes, ma'am. And I'm like,
Ooh.
Mom?
No, but I mean, interestingly, if that had been Michael, the shirt would have been off.
Right.
It
I
would
mean,
have.
maybe Gil wasn't comfortable taking his shirt off, or maybe
because
maybe
his shirt
Bill.
is never actually off.
Yeah, no, he never he takes his top shirt off, but the
Right.
the undershirt thing
chest
is
hair.
still
Yes.
on.
Like that was a
Yes,
bridge too
you're
far.
right.
But I really got,
Yeah.
as the kids would say, Ma Ingalls is clearly Dom energy. She's a top.
Yeah.
Ma's a top. He's Dom because she starts ordering him around, and and then when she gets him the bandage, she's like, "Do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do that." And he's going, "Okay." And I'm like, "What is going on in this show?"
Yes, it makes perfect sense. She's the submissive little sweet woman in real
By
life,
day.
and then in private, bow,
By
power.
When the handyman comes, she becomes something completely different.
Well, now we know, like maybe
Totally.
what went on even with Paul after the popcorn. Did
Right.
things
Yeah,
just
oh,
change
yeah.
dramatically
I mean,
when the lights
wouldn't
went
that have
out?
been
I think
fun?
so.
First of all,
I mean, what guy
I
wouldn't
love that
be
we're
up for
having
that?
this conversation.
That's great.
Totally. She knows how to work a toolbox, is all I'm saying. What? I can't believe we're having this discussion right now. Okay, my life is complete.
It's funny.
Okay. Then what the heck
It
happens next?
is interesting, though, in the service of making this point, that Arthur Heinemann, who wrote this episode, I mean, this is the kind of episode that Don Ballock would have written eventually, later, by the time he came into the program. But they go right at this. There's no ambiguity about
Yeah.
what we are seeing and what we could be thinking about it. And Mary is our Mary is our perspective. We can all see it.
She's the audience.
Yeah,
Correct.
she is the audience. Yeah.
Wait, can we I can't believe we're about to move on without discussing this. So
What?
while she's bandaging him, he's like,
Yeah.
he talks about her hair. Once
Oh, talks
again.
about her hair.
Oh,
again. That's
you
right.
always wear your hair up,
You
and I'm
always-
like, yeah, she works on the prairie, you idiot. Like, of course she wears her hair up. And of course she says it to him in a much nicer way than I do, saying, it wouldn't be practical
Yeah,
to
not
have my
you idiot.
hair
Yeah,
down.
she
But
didn't say you
again,
idiot.
he's going hard with her, man. Like, there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
two ways about it.
Yeah.
He is into her.
And
he's
hence,
into it.
she says, keep your mind on what you're doing.
Right, right. But she's also liking it. She likes it.
Of course she is.
She's letting
No,
it
of
all
course. I mean,
go
that's
on
very.
way too long.
That's it's. If Ma weren't liking it, she would have. If Caroline hadn't been liking it,
wouldn't
she
have
would
been
have
in the house.
responded differently. They would have written
Right.
it differently. They wanted
Yes.
her to be. The ambiguity is part of this for sure.
Yes.
Oh no, she really
Which
did
pays
not
off
like
at
it.
the
It
end
would
very
be back
nicely,
to the
which we'll
Saudi,
talk
back to
about.
the Saudi with you. Do not even look at me. She would order him out of the house. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so she wears a shirt, but Mary,
Yeah.
Mary, boop-a-da-boop. Also, does Mary hear the conversation about, like, oh, your hair looks nice?
No,
up?
no.
She
She
doesn't
well,
wear that.
we don't know that she does. We see her later.
might.
Now,
Yeah.
Mary comes home.
Carrie is outside talking to, and Mary's in the loft, concerned as she watches Chris work on the roof.
Yes.
When
Right.
he's at window level.
Okay.
with
Oh no!
the-
But first, no, wait a minute.
with
Wait a
the
minute. Wait a
bedroom.
minute. First, after all the repair, and Ma says she's going to not only wash his shirt, repair his shirt, and give
But-
him Pa's shirt.
That's what's
So I mean,
Fatal-
this is
that's
like,
what's
what
fatal
are
flaw.
we doing here? That
Yes.
just wouldn't happen.
Pa's
would
shirt
not
that
happen.
Mary made. Pa's shirt that Mary
That
made.
Mary
Yes.
made. Yes. So
Okay,
now Mary,
so
after when she
Mary
sees that, she's completely flipped out. Wonderful
Mary
moment was she.
sets off.
Yeah.
Such a good Mary moment. I love it. She demands to know, why is that man wearing Pa's shirt that I made for him? I mean, it is epic Mary. I love it. And then her mother's like, what? I'm innocent. This is just because I just repaired it for him. And what's wrong with you, you little girl? Meanwhile, she's totally justified in feeling this way. Can we just
Totally.
She's totally
and,
justified.
and in that moment, Pa is on his way home.
Thank heaven.
We cut to the road, and here comes the wagon and the theme music, and Pa's coming home. End of Act 2.
Now, I do like the scene when she comes home and says, oh, I was in a fight. And Ma actually says, who with?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
well, yes,
could there
of
be
course.
anyone
No,
else?
Who with? Who would it be?
Should we take a break and then finish up the
let's
episode?
do that. Yeah, we should.
Okay, leaving you guys hanging. Cliffhanger. Here, how's it gonna end? I don't possibly know.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
When you visit Simi Valley, California, you're stepping into the pages of history. Go from the pioneers to the presidents. Explore beautiful wildflowers, hike through iconic Hollywood locations, and end your day aboard the actual Air Force One at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum. Throughout the summer, take the Little House 50th Anniversary Tour at Big Sky Movie Ranch. Less than 15 minutes from Los Angeles and 30 minutes from Universal Studios, Simi Valley has small-town charm with big-time history. Go to visitsimiValley.com for more information. We are so grateful to visitsimiValley.com for their commitment to presenting the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast.
And we're back with this epic episode, The Handyman. What happens next, you guys?
Well,
Pa
Pa
came home.
comes back. Yeah, Pa on horseback, looking very
And
Bonanza-like,
everyone's-
looking like very
and
little Joe
everyone's-
Cartwright.
Very, very, very happy to see him.
Yes.
Overly happy to see him. Chris.
And Chris is
mysteriously
not.
disappears.
Yes,
No.
he disappears.
Nowhere to be found.
That
Right.
you know, if you're a man who's who's wanting to keep everybody comfortable with what's going on, you would stay present. You would
Yes.
meet the husband. You
Correct.
would be respectful. You would do all that. That's clearly not where Chris is.
Guilty,
Right.
guilty.
Guilty, exactly. Yeah.
And then
he's
Pa's like, I'm only here for 10 minutes. Gotta go.
and look at the great work this guy does. He's better
and
carpenter than I am.
He's great. Totally. This guy's brilliant. I love this guy. And Mary is like dying inside. She's dying.
And
She's begging
and
Pa, please don't go. Do you
now,
have to go?
what is it that he says to her? And you maybe took notes on this,
Mrs.
but
Olson.
in
Mrs.
town he
Olson
says
told him.
Mrs. Olson is saying that there's this handsome guy at the house, and he's
Oh God.
and he's this perfect guy,
Good
and
looking.
something, good looking, and somehow I'm not really jealous. I mean, it's like, what did he say? Something he's just not
He said,
concerned.
oh, Mrs. Olson. I think she thought she'd make me jealous.
Oh, that's right. She
Why
thought she'd
would I
make
be
me
jealous?
jealous. Right. Exactly.
Well,
And he
because,
laughed and laughed
and this is the
and laughed.
first and only episode I will ever say or feel this, Mrs. Olson is right. She's right to be like, Charles, listen.
And poor Karen's
there's a guy in your
face
house.
when he
He's
blows
wearing your
off
shirt.
the jealousy thing, when he's just like, oh, she's trying to make me jealous, and laughs, and she's like, and
Caroline's a little
And are you-
hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
Caroline's a little. She's a little conflicted and hurt, and
Yeah, and
why
then he's
aren't
like,
you
"What's the
jealous
matter?"
a little bit? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's the matter?" And she's like,
I
I
miss
just
you.
miss you." Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss him a lot. Get it back home before you do something you regret later. Okay,
Yeah.
then what
Yeah.
happens?
And then and
Meanwhile,
Paul
Laura's
rides
still
off
oblivious
waiting
to
as
all
he
of this.
rides off up the hill, and the hammering starts again, like immediately. Yeah.
And it's Chris, Uncle Chris.
Uncle
Innocent
Chris is back with a hammer again. Yeah. Yeah.
And
then
that's a
Mary has the big
metaphor.
freak out
Yeah.
because down by the creek, she witnesses what looks
She witnesses.
She
Well,
witnesses
but
the
here's-
trip.
Here's
the
my
misstep.
question, though. That Ma and Chris have this heart to heart of like, he's just a wandering man, and he's not going to settle with anyone. And
Who settled-
he plays the pity card.
He,
Who
boo!
wanna
I
settle
said,
with
I
me
watched it. I'm like,
anyway?
boo! Who?
Boo! Freaking who?
Totally. Yeah, right.
Totally playing the pity card. Like, maybe this will work. Let's try this tactic. Who would want to be with me anyway? But here's my question: is like, why is Ma so freaking committed to this guy? Besides, obviously, is attracted to him. Like that's the only. She's so committed to him. She so cares about his life, and if he ends up with someone loving, who cares? He's the handyman. Do your job. Go away.
Yeah. No.
Allison's bathroom guy. You did a great job. I'll never see you again.
Yeah.
But if Allison's bathroom man was Gilterod, that might have been a different scenario. Okay, so Mary sees Ma trips while they're coming back from the creek.
And she's seeing it, and she knows everything she needs to know. End of Act 3.
Right, because he holds her and she sees this quote-unquote embrace.
Yes.
It looks bad.
Don't mess with Mary.
Yeah.
Because what happens next is knock on
Yes.
the door in the middle of
Yeah.
the night. This is
Night.
Mary now with her
Yeah.
hair down in her
Yeah.
pajamas.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which
did
is
you think
And-
that was weird?
and Mary
Like, oh no,
looking-
Mary's in a nightie.
So,
Mary's in the
Allison,
nightie
how old was Melissa Sue at this point?
This was this
season
1977?
4, right?
See, no, season 4.
Yeah.
Season 4.
So yeah, that's right. It would be
15?
70.
It was,
So,
it was like
how old was she?
shot in 77, probably. So I was 15, so she's 14. She's 14 years old.
Oh,
She presents very maturely in this scene.
she really does. She presents
She
it as
was
16.
terrific in this scene.
Yeah.
Well, but just her attitude is, I mean, it was obviously
so good.
written very clearly what she's going to say, but
she's so good.
she occupied that need, that moment extremely well.
When she confronts, it's just the audience knows, although I'm
Yes.
sure they know because they're listening to our podcast.
They know.
But
Everyone
she
knows
confronts
this, yeah.
Chris privately at night and is like, I want you to go. You need to get out of here. And he responds with like, your mother is yada, yada, yada. And her best comeback is, you don't have to tell me about my mother.
Yeah.
I'm like, get
Yeah.
the hell out. It's
You
so
love
good.
my mother, don't you? Is basically,
Yes.
you're in love with my mother.
Yes.
That's Mary is
And Laura's
right
still
moment there,
oblivious, by the
because
way.
she says, "Yeah, do you love her?" And he can't answer, and she goes, "So if everything's
He can't
completely
answer.
fine and on the up
Correct.
and
I'll
up,
be gone
do
in
you
the
love my
morning.
mother? Oh, you'd be able to answer me, and you're not able to answer me. Hit the bricks." She's right.
Well, he
She's
is,
right.
he is present enough to know that, because he knows he can't answer, he knows he has to leave. I mean,
Yes.
he knows he's about to blow up this family, and he can't do that. Ultimately,
I
I mean,
said-
he's yeah.
So I guess the question is, well, let's go to the next day. Next morning, Chris is mysteriously gone.
Yes.
Ma's very concerned about Uncle Chris not being there. It's so weird. And then, of course, she goes in the barn, and Mary's like, yeah. He's bad. He's gone. Whoops.
love that.
How does, I mean, Ma infers so quickly that Mary knows something. All she's doing is raking in the
Uh-huh.
yeah. So this again,
But she doesn't care.
all in service of a moment to get to a moment.
Right. But it's
Yeah.
like Mary's the only normal one. She doesn't care that the handyman's not there anymore, like
Yeah.
a normal person would feel. But instead, it's this mind-blowing, earth-shattering thing that the handyman is no longer there, for Ma anyway.
Yes.
And so then Ma confronts Mary. Like, what's the attitude all about? And Mary goes to town on Ma. It's epic. I love these Mary moments. I love them so much. When people say Mary's a goody two shoes, I'm like, no, she is
No,
not.
no,
She
she's-
is fierce.
Yeah.
But then Ma still keeps like, Ma, denial ain't just a river in Egypt, honey. Like,
my
you're
God.
attracted to him. You
Right.
like, please spare me. And she turns it all around. I said, I said,
Well,
Ma's
it's-
speech to
it's
Mary
Little
in the
House.
confrontation in the barn, standing up for Chris, who she's known for a week and a half. Come on, Ma. Come on, Ma. Been on for a week and a half. Yes, I
Well,
know it's
then-
for the story, and
of
I love
course
the
then-
story. The story's great.
And Mary is drawn in by, she's prepared to accept this, and I was horrible to Chris, and I need to apologize to him, and so
But did
they're
that bother
going to
you? 'Cause
make
that
it
bothered
right.
me.
What's that?
But this is what bothered me, is
Okay.
that Mary was not wrong.
No, she's
Ma's
not.
the one that's
Yeah, right.
deflecting. Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. And she turns it around so
Okay.
that Mary was the rude one and acted terribly, when actually Mary was right. I didn't like
And then
that.
they drive
I mean-
and go find him. Just
Yes, and bring him back.
To bring him back. Oy vey. This episode. I know I keep ripping on this episode. I love it so
Well,
much.
it's a terrific episode. It really is, but it does strain credulity just a bit.
Yeah.
And he has the sense to not go back. He's like, "Uh-oh, I'm done."
Yes,
but
he does
doesn't
not
want
come
to
back.
find
I'm a
woman
wanderer.
like your ma.
I'm
he really
a
does love
wanderer,
her.
just a wanderer. I roam around.
It's the
around,
redeeming
around,
thing.
around.
He really does
Yeah.
love her genuinely, but
He does.
he knows I must walk away because I have to go to a new farmhouse
Yeah.
and find another hot chick to bother making her husband. With.
There's another.
Totally.
There's another
I
hot,
mean-
hot farm woman out there.
There are hot farm women out there, but only one Ma. Only
Yes.
one Ma.
Yeah.
And he ends it by saying, she goes, where will you go now? And he says,
I
need a
need
woman
to find
like
a
your
woman
ma.
like your mom.
Yep.
What? He's saying that to her daughter?
Right there.
That is obtuse, if I say so
he
myself.
and whistles and walks away. And he starts that
Like
little
a
whistle.
dream.
I was wondering if that tune. I don't know that tune. I'm wondering if that's something that David Rose just wrote for him to
Do,
whistle,
do,
or
do, 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 do.
yeah, right. Or is
Do,
that
do,
a it sounds sort of like
do,
something
do.
he would have written.
It's very
actually.
David Rose.
Yeah.
Now, I think as the
Very
audience,
David Rose.
Yeah.
we're having a little moment of redemption because I'm thinking, I go, oh, maybe he's been redeemed here. He does realize he really loves her, not just sex, like he really loves her, like he wants to find a one like her. Maybe
Yes.
this is a turning point for him in going with happy endings, that he does, as he rides away, go, wow, that went really over the line, out of control. Maybe I do need to settle down. If I had a woman like that who would say, do as I say and focus on your, I would
Yes,
be married.
get in here and take off your shirt.
Maybe
yes.
he's going to
Who
find
wouldn't want
That's
a
what I
woman
need.
like that?
Ma
Yeah.
and get married and
That
settle
was
down
my
and
takeaway.
change his life and stop being a wastrel womanizer.
A wa- Right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
my takeaway
yeah.
from it. I think that's probably what the intention was, that somehow
course.
his finding Ma changed him for
Good.
good and for the better, and now he's going to find a woman like Ma and settle down.
And at that moment, the next cut to nighttime in the little house, and in walks Pa. In
What a
walks Pa,
reception he
and
gets.
everyone is so thrilled to see him.
And he looks at Ma, whose hair is down.
Yes.
And just takes a moment, looks at her and goes, "Your hair looks good like that." And walks out of the house, and then she's in love. He loves her. He thinks she's pretty.
She goes berserk. He compliments her
Which is
hair and she
good.
goes
Yeah,
nuts.
no,
She goes berserk. Yes.
yeah. Well, it's like, thank you.
For noticing.
You're seeing me, and
Yes.
and of course they dissipate. He's going to go down to the creek to wash off, and here we go. And cut to the Kurosawa moment with the girls in the doorway, and Ma and Pa have walked off into the darkness to the creek
Because she
And,
suddenly needs to help him.
Yeah.
Help.
No,
in quotation.
it's a nice way. I mean, it's a lovely way to write that Pa, finally sees her. I mean, it's
Yes.
it's written the whole way that he's a little, that he's just he's oblivious
Yes.
to everything. For a character who is generally written to be very empathetic with what's going on and feeling moments. I mean, it just shows that in our world, in our Little House world, characters were written to serve a plot, and there could be inconsistencies in the characters in the interest of serving the story.
Right. Right.
And I think that was the nature of what episodic television was at that time. I don't know that you'd see that kind of you'd say that's a jump the shark moment in today's world. I just don't know that you would accept that today.
But this episode is so interesting because, again, it's a side of Ma we will never see again.
Yeah, never see again.
And it's nice to see this side of Ma. And it's a real human.
Yes.
Because, again, like you said, she's not sexualized whatsoever in this series, period. So to get one little episode where there's a little
yes.
eroticism or a little
Yes.
sizzle,
And
is
it's
quite
really
refreshing.
nice. And she played it beautifully. She played all of that flirtation and being flattered but hesitant. She played all of that wonderfully. I mean, she's
Yeah.
beautiful. Karen was
Again, viewers
absolutely
can
beautiful
identify.
in the show.
It's another thing where viewers can identify where you have a crush and you know it really can't go anywhere, but he is really cute. Everybody's done that.
Right.
Everybody's had the crush. And I kind of like the end. I laughed and I actually wrote down, did you ever have one of those situations where you got really worked up over a crush and then when you got back with your significant other, things are really, well, boom, chaka, 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 boo out, as you would say. That it suddenly all gets worked out with your boyfriend or girlfriend because you take
Yes.
this big crush thing for a couple of days. People have done
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and people watching were going, "Oh yeah, that I totally did that. Yeah, okay."
I've
It's like,
done
you can
that.
identify.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's totally human, especially when you're in a relationship for years and years and years.
Of
You know,
course.
it's very human. Listen, she didn't act on any of
didn't do
her
a thing.
impulses. She just was enjoying them. That's all.
I
Even though she
think
couldn't admit she was enjoying them.
so. Okay, so we've probably been summarizing all the way through this, but this is a very entertaining, if a little separated from the normal themes that Little House covers, but a nice revealing episode for Ma, a wonderful episode for Mary. And Laura is one of the last time. I mean, Melissa, who knew everything about everything as a little person,
True.
as a young person, and always. I mean, Melissa is totally aware. For her to be playing complete obliviousness to all of this, I mean, it's like, well, but Mary has to have that flavor. She needs that So Laura didn't have
like
that.
I said, Laura has no swagger. She never did. Even when she grew up on the show, she still didn't have any swagger. So it wasn't a shocker that she was totally in the dark about any of this. It just showed how young she actually and totally innocent she was. And the fact that Mary picked up on it was really cool. Like it was just a very cool device. And it gave Mary so much to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely. You have to respect.
good.
Melissa Sue, I mean, look, Melissa Gilbert, because she's playing the author character, and Melissa owns a huge piece of next to Michael, she owns that big piece of what Little House was. But but Melissa Sue Anderson, in moments like this, and in many other episodes where she's playing tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, Melissa Sue Anderson showed herself to be a really wonderful, wonderful young actress, and very special. And Michael wrote a lot of stuff for her.
Tragedy after tragedy after
And
tragedy.
she
Because she could handle it.
Did it. She did it. She could handle that, and she was just wonderful with it. So I guess we say we love it, but it's like we're sort of shaking our heads, but we love the episode.
I loved it. I love it.
It's a terrific
Ma
episode.
gets sexy, Mary gets mad. I mean, these are two things I think it's
As the
here they
hammer
are,
swings.
full
Yeah.
out. It's excellent.
I think that's our show, everybody.
That is our show. There,
yeah.
what more can we possibly
And
rip to
do
shreds with it?
read
Nothing.
Karen's book. Get out there in Karen's book. She has many behind the
Right, Prairie
scenes
does.
stories.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
She
yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. If you want to know more about this episode, read
Bright Lights
read
and
her
Prairie
book.
Dust. You can read more about it in that. Yeah.
It's an amazing book anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's our show, everybody. I loved this recap. I loved watching this episode. It was so much fun to rewatch. My goodness. We've got some fun stuff coming up for all events and things coming up. We have our live podcast in New York City on November 22nd. If the tickets are not on sale when this drops, the tickets will be on sale. The page will be live any moment now, so keep checking on it. And obviously, we will also make
And the website
announcements
address again
when the website is up.
What is the website?
Well, I don't know, but it'll be in the show.
It'll be in the notes.
It's
Okay.
At Green Room 42.
That's right.
42.
That's right.
Yeah, you
Is
go to
the-
Green Room 42.
Green Room
and
42.
Any
It's Green
second,
Room
we
42.
will be on their page, and you can buy tickets to our thing in here.
So
Any
and then
second, and we'll announce it.
Yes, and then shortly after that, another event that is currently on sale is the Little House on
Yes.
the Prairie cast reunion at Strathern Park in
Yes.
Simi Valley, a special
all gonna be
holiday
there.
event. You can find out more about the event at Little House on the Prairie cast reunions, plural, Little House on the Prairie cast reunions.com. And tickets are on
And
sale.
all of this
And
will
I will
all
say
be
they are
included.
selling very nicely. Thank you very much.
Woohoo! Good stuff coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time. Bob, get the wig. Let's fly, people, with Gil Gerard.
Fly to Gil Gerard
Where is Gil Gerard?
in Florida.